Alright, so in this video I want to share with you why being an engineer won't make you rich. So currently, as of right now, June 2020, I make $78,500 a year. And I will show you a picture of my pay stub, just so you guys can clearly see that I'm not lying when I'm saying this. So here, I currently make this much living in California as an environmental engineer. And so I'm still within that same realm as an engineer. I'm still underneath that umbrella. But I just want to tell you clearly, straight up, that just because you have a high paying salary doesn't mean that you're exactly rich. So you can basically look rich, but that doesn't mean that you are rich. So let's take a few steps back. I'm Asian. I'm Chinese, Vietnamese, American. And basically, if you have Asian parents, they typically want you to be either a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. Like, those are the three criteria that you have to be successful and basically not a disgrace to your family. And typically, Asian parents want their kids to have this sort of position because they know that it's a stable job, it's high paying, it's high in demand, so it's going to be, a really good circle of balance. But people fail to realize that just because you have a high paying job doesn't mean that you're going to be rich. So you can have a high paying job, but then you could spend all of that and end up having nothing to show for it. And I'm going to be super blunt and honest with you. You need to be invested. You need to start some sort of side hustle or have some sort of other way to have some income. Because realize that your job, yes, you have a high paying job, it's just one income. And that only one income is coming from your job. So just look at the world economy right now. We're in a global pandemic, pretty much in a recession. If you lost your one job and that was your only source of income, you have nothing else to supply you besides government unemployment. That was your only life source, and now it's gone. You have no control over that, but again, it's gone. I have a civil engineer coworker, and she makes, because I asked her pretty much straight up, how much do you make a year? She makes $101,000 every single year. That's her salary, $101,000. And so that's way above me. I make $78,500, she makes $101,000. That's a $22,000 difference, pretty much. But she's living the Gucci life. So she's making way more, and I'm not trying to back down on her lifestyle or her lifestyle choices or decisions. But I know that for the most part, she's sort of living paycheck to paycheck. So right now, yeah, she's making $101,000, but imagine if she got laid off. She still has to pay for taxes, she still has to pay for bills. All of that eats away at your salary. So yes, she makes $101,000, but then minus taxes, minus bills, minus all of her expenses, her eating out, all of that, you don't really know how much she's saving. So imagine, again, she makes this much this year, everything was going fine and peachy, but then she still has to pay these bills, but then what if she got laid off? And that's really scary because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if your one life source, your one income, your one way of getting money will be gone. We had no control over this whole pandemic. Just imagine having all of that taken away from you in a month. And so I'm going to give you a quick list on how you can be rich. So this is what I learned after making some pretty bad financial decisions myself. I don't want me or you to be 10 years older and then realize, oh, I should have saved some money, or man, I'm poor compared to all the rest of my friends. So the first thing that you can do to be rich is, one, educate yourself. Educate yourself on financial literacy. So realize that there's more than one way to actually make money. It's not just through your job. So read some books on how you can make money, whether it be through a side business, a side hustle. You can learn about the stock market, all that stuff. So just learn what to do. Literally, all I did was just Google how to make money, or how to make passive income, and then that was what taught me. So now that you've learned how to make money, now you have to actually put that into action. You have to have a plan. So when you plan things out, you need to budget. This is the main key factor. You need to budget. You need to know where your money is going out. So think of this in terms of an engineer. So you have a container. Water is going into that container. So imagine that water as money. That's your income. You only have one faucet that's putting in water into this container. But now you have a leak. That leak is your taxes, your expenses, your bills, all that stuff. So hopefully you have a big enough faucet that's putting in a lot of water into that container, but you have a small leak. So that means in the end, you are still filling up that container. It's just that there's a little leak coming out of it. Hopefully you don't have such a big leak such that the faucet that's putting in water into that container is more than how much is losing out water. So in order to realize how much water you have in that container, that's your end savings, you need to know how much is going in and how much is going out. Once you have that, then you can realize at the end of the year, oh, I have this much left in the container. That's your savings, or that's your investing. That's how much wealth you have. And lastly, once you've had that plan and once you start realizing how much is going in and going out, now you need to realize that you shouldn't rely on one income. So don't ever rely on your one job to keep you there forever. Because again, right now, this whole pandemic, and because people are getting laid off, that life source, that one faucet that they turn on to keep their financial means stable is gone. but you still have that leak in the container. Every single month you're still paying for bills. You want like 3 ways on how you can fill that container. You want 3 faucets turning on to keep that container full. Even though my one main job provides me the most water, I still have other little mini faucets that are turned on that are still feeding me some income. And don't be embarrassed even if it's just like a few cents. It's literally still something that you can achieve. So don't be embarrassed just because you have like 2 cents coming in every single month. That is still 2 cents more than you had last month. I'm putting out this video because people are unemployed, people are still making dumb decisions with their money. The whole economy is like pretty much getting wrecked, and I don't really know how long this will take to recover. I don't know when you're gonna get your job back, or if you're looking for a job, when you'll find a job. And having this scares people because they don't know when they're gonna get their job back. So in a way, because this is a scary predicament, they have to learn to adapt. And pretty much because they fail in terms of having to control their financial means, that's where they learn. Failure is not bad, but failure to learn is bad. So in a way, because you got laid off and now that you're draining your saving supplies, hopefully this made you learn to have other means of income. Hopefully it taught you to save more maybe you live below your means, and overall just have more flexibility in terms of your financial status. You know, still being able to buy groceries when you have to, pay for the lights and the water, pay for your rent and all that stuff. I just want to make sure that even in terms of pandemics and recessions and even this whole protest, the ability to float financially. I still want you to have a comfortable life. I don't want you to have to be stressed and worried about being kicked out or living on the streets or something like that just because you had a lack of planning. So be a good planner and none of this would be happening. Alright, so I know this is pretty much just me bagging down on you, saying that people are done with their money, but I just want to point this out so you guys can realize the problem and try to fix it. I want you guys to be better off than you were after this. So I'm sorry if people got laid off, or I'm sorry if you just graduated and you can't find a job. I know it's going to be difficult for many months, if not years, but because of this downfall, because of this whole pandemic and this whole bad recession, I want you to be stronger and learn from this. And so with that being said, if you're still pursuing engineering, just keep going for it, push through it. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you can go for it, but still realize that don't spend everything that you have just because you have and you make this high salary. Just because you have a high title, high prestige, high salary, doesn't mean that you should go waste it off because you don't know what's going to happen. Again, uncontrolled pandemic and millions of people getting laid off, that could be you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry again if I was being too mean and blunt with you, but I have to tell you, I'm telling you the truth, don't do it. You can clearly see that many people are struggling and you do not want to be one of those people struggling right now. So like the video and I'll see you in the next one.